I have an opportunity to present a special award this morning. There'll be some additional awards tomorrow afternoon at lunch, but I wanted to present this one particularly while Vint was still with us. This is the Christine Haska Distinguished Service Award. This is the inaugural year for the Distinguished Service Award, named in honor of Dr. Christine Haska, who passed away last year. Christine was a treasured member of the CENIC community and led her life dedicated to bettering our world. She provided expert guidance as a CENIC board member and played a crucial role in establishing the Naval Postgraduate School and the Defense Language Institute Foreign Language Center as CENIC members. She was well known by her family, colleagues, and friends as an exuberant personality with boundless energy and wide-ranging interests. She brought foresight, grace, and an innovative spirit to all her work, and she remains an inspiration to colleagues working in research and education institutions across the nation. I'm really pleased that some of her family could join us here today to honor her memory. Christine's son, Justin Brown, is here, her daughter, Stephanie Nauman. I think her husband, Sandy Ford, may be here. And there's some others. I mean, she touched a lot of our lives. She made the Monterey Bay Peninsula a place where we were able to experiment in ways and think about connecting different communities and then take that as a model for what we did elsewhere in California. I do want to mention a couple of her longtime colleagues, Jeff Weekly, who's our conference chair, who was at NPS with her, Joe LoPiccolo, who is a CENIC board member and at the Naval Postgraduate School as Chief Information Officer, Dr. Stephen Packard, who is the CEO of Montage Health, the large hospital here. Christine worked on his board and ensured that CENIC would connect the health institutions on the Monterey Bay Peninsula, because many of them have long and deep relationships with our university medical centers. Also, Charlene Weber-Schuss, who may be here, and has worked closely with Christine. She was a force of nature, Christine. This year, the inaugural award we're going to give to David Lassner, President of the University of Hawaii. For his work in research and education technology. And while I embarrass David, I want to invite his colleague, Hei Okamoto, a longtime friend and colleague of David's. She worked with David when he was CIO in the IT department, and she's also, among other things, acting vice president of student affairs at the system level at University of Hawaii. And both these folks have been friends and co-conspirators for, we were trying to figure this out last night, 2 or 3 decades, somewhere in there. A little bit about David. David's history of dedicated academic, technological, and community involvement spans over 3 decades. He's led projects to connect the University of Hawaii system and critical global scientific instruments in Hawaii, and efforts to connect community anchor institutions throughout Hawaii and the Pacific Islands to the University of Hawaii, the mainland United States, and nations throughout the Asia-Pacific region. His work has helped to advance science and education, preserve environmental and cultural resources, connect communities, and enrich myriad lives throughout the Pacific Islands. He's most recently been involved with the establishment of the Guam Open Research and Education Exchange Network, or GOREX network. And perhaps there's a picture of it sometime. GOREX helps facilitate collaboration among many Pacific Island nations, supporting global outreach and community access. David also currently serves as a board member of several educational and outreach organizations, including the East-West Center, a nonprofit government-funded organization dedicated to cooperative study, research, and dialogue between the U.S., Asia, the Pacific, He serves on the Aloha United Way, a not-for-profit committed to the community betterment throughout the state of Hawaii. And these are just two examples of his commitment to promoting wellness and connectivity for all. Over dinner a couple of months ago, I had a chance to ask David about his time on the Hokulea, a traditional voyaging canoe, and its historic circumnavigation of the globe. David had a chance to join the Hokulea in a couple of spots and sail on this voyaging canoe. Those of you who were at the conference last year remember seeing a video that David presented about the Polynesian Voyaging Society, which seeks to perpetuate the art and science of traditional Polynesian voyaging and the spirit of exploration through educational programs that inspire students and their communities to respect and care for themselves, each other, and their natural and cultural environments. At our dinner, David told us about his opportunity to join the Hokulea on a couple of legs of this really magnificent journey. He was animated and joyful, exuberant when he talked about what an honor it was to be included in this adventure, to be part of a 2,000-year-old relationship with special islands and with the sea. For him, it was the Polynesian Voyaging Society. For him, it was, as the Polynesian Voyaging Society says, a story of a society revaluing its relationship to its island home, a story that is critically important to the world's populations as we struggle with the ability to live with balance on that island we call Earth, a story about culture and its survival, rediscovery, and the restoration of pride and dignity. And as I was a witness, it was a story about this man and where he finds inspiration, meaning, and joy. It is with immense pleasure that I present the inaugural Christine Haska Distinguished Service Award to David Lassner, President of the University of Hawaii.
Well, thank you. I think Louis said more than needed to be said. I'm deeply appreciative of this opportunity to come back and visit with old friends and new. I don't get to many of these meetings anymore in my new life, but just a special thank you. I'm humbled and honored, and I knew Christine. I worked with her actually on the Kuali project, so different than the networking world. And I'm very honored to be the first recipient of her award. Mahalo, as we say.